7,300 days ago, or 20 years ago, I was born. And after all that time, I think I finally figured something out. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Heaven must have sent you from above.
At 16 years old, I got my first truck. It was a 2000 Toyota Tundra, and at the time, it was 20 years old already, but it ran better than half the newer stuff on the road. I remember thinking that 20 years old was such a big milestone, and I never really thought that I'd be getting it this soon. At 17, I thought I had it all figured out. I was giving advice like I was an old wise man.
And we just really made sure that
Looking back at it, I guess I was just loud enough to cover up the fact that I was guessing.
Make me realize the beauty of your charm. Yes, I'm blessed to have your precious love.
Then 18, then 19. Every year felt like a new version of I've got it now, but each year I was wrong, just in a different way.
All right.
Take your first bite.
Then 20 hit. For one of the first times in my life, instead of thinking about how much I knew, I thought of everything I didn't. The world felt huge, and I felt smaller. It wasn't some breakdown, and it wasn't even dramatic.
Heaven must have sent you from above.
It was just this feeling like someone handed me a mirror and I actually looked for the first time. I thought 20 would feel like a checkpoint. Instead, it just feels like a blank page. Not in a bad way, just way emptier than I expected. It's weird. I've had 20 years to become someone, and now I'm realizing that I never really knew what that meant. No one really talks about this part, the space between being a kid and becoming someone. It's not loud, it's not obvious, it just happens, quietly. And then one day you notice it. I used to think growing up meant knowing more, but it actually just means noticing more. Noticing how fast time moves, how much you've missed, and how little you actually know. The other day I was scrolling on Instagram Reels, just zoning out, and in the middle of all the brain rot, this one clip stopped me. There was this tree, and as a person walked up to sit underneath it, this giant text filled the sky. It read, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today." I don't know why I didn't scroll past it. Maybe because the number 20 sticks out to me right now, or maybe it was just something I needed to hear. Either way, I wrote it down. I find that writing things down and putting thoughts into a tangible form helps me connect with it more and just makes it feel that much more real. I used to think that life came with instructions, but if I haven't got them by now, I don't think I'm getting them. I've started to look at my life like something I'm building. There's no blueprint and there's no instructions. It's just one part at a time. Most of the time, I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna show up anyways. The same way that a tree doesn't ask permission to grow, it just does. Year by year, ring by ring, it grows. Some years will leave deep marks, and others will pass by quietly, but in the end, they all count. It's never really been about having a plan, it's about having a reason to keep showing up. And the truth is, that reason is going to keep shifting. Some days it's clear, and other days it's just momentum and discipline. Sometimes you move because you're inspired, and sometimes because you don't want to fall behind. Either way, you keep going, that's what counts. Changing direction isn't failure, it's just part of the build. No one ever has it locked in from the start. We're all just figuring out what's worth showing up for. Every little thing you try, and every late night, every failed attempt, and every weird idea, it's all becoming something, even if it's not clear yet. You don't always see the progress when you're in it, but if you just keep showing up, one day you're gonna look back and realize you're not where you started. Maybe you're still figuring it out, but now you're figuring it out from higher ground. The best stuff I've ever done has never came from knowing what I was doing. It always comes from just deciding to start, even though it isn't perfect. Actually, especially when it isn't perfect. Half the time, I never feel ready for anything, but I'm just gonna try anyways. And looking back, that's what's made the difference after all these years. Not waiting for clarity, not overthinking it, just taking the next step and trusting that it would lead somewhere. If you've spent any time on social media, you'd know the pressure to be special, to stand out, to already have something to show by 20. A business, a brand, or just something that proves that you're ahead of the curve. But most people I know aren't building these highlight reels. We're just trying to build real lives. Lives that make sense when the phone's off, and lives that actually feel like ours, not some algorithm's version of who we're supposed to be. I keep thinking about this one night where I was just editing a video past 2 a.m. that only a couple people would end up ever seeing. My eyes were burning, the export kept failing, and the audio was just slightly off, but I didn't stop. Not because I had to, but working on something that was just for me and a few friends genuinely made me feel good. And looking back, that night mattered. All those hours spent obsessing over imperfect projects, they made me better. Not just as an editor, but as someone who sticks with things. I've started to realize that everything you do, even the small, unfinished stuff, is a building block. Every attempt teaches you something, and every moment stacks.
Alright.
I used to feel behind, like I missed something, like I should have started so many things sooner. But now whenever I feel that way, I just think about that quote. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and yeah, maybe I missed that, but the second best time is today.
You are everything I'm ever dreaming